Hi guys, welcome back to Infinite Possibilities, the podcast where we explore the lives of amazing people, their choices, challenges and opportunities. And today I have a very special guest, JR. Hello.
Hi Karen, thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for being here. So, from a mutual friend, I heard that it'd be very hard to get you on the podcast. Can you please explain?
I don't know, maybe they think I'm a busy guy, but you asked and 1 week turnaround and I'm here, so it couldn't have been that hard, could it?
Yeah. Nice. So JR, what's your kind of 1 minute intro? What do you do?
So I guess I work at KPMG, not in your team, obviously, because, but yeah, I'm in the PEPI team. I don't know if you want me to talk why chose PEPI, or we'll get into that later.
We will dig into that, but what exactly is PEPI?
PEPI is the Policy, Economics and Public Impact.
Nice.
Yeah, so I should know this, I've been asked enough times. But yeah, so that's the team I'm in. Outside of work, I don't know, I just like to, go to the gym, reading, family time, outdoors whenever I can. That's
pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Try to be.
Yeah. And then let's go right from the beginning. JR. So what is your full name?
So I'm John Ross Chicksen. So JR is my first name abbreviated.
Yeah, cute. And do people call you John Ross? Like John, and then maybe some people call you Ross? Yeah,
so it's usually John or John Ross or JR. So most of my friends do call me JR or John Ross. Yeah.
What about your parents? When you're in trouble, you get the John Ross?
Actually, no. I'm called Simon at home. Yeah.
Really? Okay, please explain.
So my dad wanted me to call Simon, and then my mum wanted me to be named John Ross. So legally, I'm John Ross, but then at home, everyone called me Simon to sort of get on my mum's nerves, so that she wouldn't.
So like a joke.
Yeah.
Wow. So if someone like at work said Simon, would your head like flicker?
Yeah.
It would?
Yeah, most likely. Or maybe not, because I'm at work. I might just not associate it with work. But definitely outdoors, if someone said Simon, I'd be like, oh, me.
So which would you have preferred? Like, your mum's not going to watch this. Would you have preferred John Ross or Simon?
So when I was younger, I didn't like John Ross. But now that I've grown into it, definitely prefer John Ross.
Yeah. What about John Ross didn't you like?
I don't know. I guess maybe because I was never called it. It didn't feel natural. But then as more people called me that, and then as I grew up, I started to appreciate it a bit more.
Yeah, that's awesome. And who came up with the abbreviation JR?
I don't know. No one specifically.
It wasn't you? You're like, I don't really like this name. Let's just call me JR.
Yeah, no, I actually can't tell you who it was.
Yeah.
It probably just, happened. Someone called me JR or, don't know really.
That's cool. And where were you born, JR?
I was born in Zimbabwe.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what was it like living in Zimbabwe?
Well, I had a good life in Zimbabwe.
Nice.
Can't say the same for everyone who lives there. So I was fortunate to have that. But school, friends, had a good family. So it's great for me.
And do you have siblings?
I have half siblings. So my father has 2 sons and a daughter.
Yeah.
And I'm the youngest.
Oh, you're the youngest.
Yeah.
Are you the naughtiest then?
No, I was probably the best behaved. Yeah.
Wow. Mature for your age,
Yeah, well, they all grew up together, so they were all naughty together, whereas, I was the youngest and they were a lot older, so, no one to get up to mischief with.
Yeah. Oh, so you were the only child on your side?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you weren't spoiled?
Oh, I was too spoiled.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely was. I wouldn't say I was naughty, but I don't know, maybe someone else would say differently.
Yeah. That's cute. Yeah, and tell me more about schooling in Zimbabwe.
So I went to a public school for primary school. So that was alright. It was the time before the public system completely shit itself. Am I allowed to swear on here?
Yeah, no problem.
And then so that was up until primary school, and then high school I went to a private school, and then I moved here just before university. Yeah.
How were the vibes between public and private school?
So I'd say that public school, there's a bit more emphasis on just finishing school rather than actually I guess, excelling in different areas like sports and music and all of that. So if I had gone to private primary school, I probably would have learned a few more skills. Yeah. Well, and then like getting into high school, it's like, oh yeah, they want you to be like good at sports, music, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, it's a bit too late now. Yeah, but it's fine.
Yeah. Did you end up picking up a new sport in
high
school?
Not in high school. I did my utmost to not play. Yeah, so I did like squash and tennis and all the sports where I could just chill out on the sideline. Yeah. So that was my strategy and it worked.
Wow, why is that? Why didn't you like group sports or that kind of thing?
I don't know. I guess I was just a lazy kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, I guess if you're up against other people who are good at what they're doing, like you don't really have that confidence or that effort to put in because it's like, oh, well, what's the point if they're not going to put me on the field or they're not going to all of that. So that probably didn't motivate me very much. Yeah.
Were you a shy kid growing up?
I don't think I was. I mean, every kid's a little bit shy, but no, I don't think I was. Yeah.
That's cool. And then what about favourite subjects at school? Did you have any?
So I was more into like the sciences, so like math, English, all of that. But I used to love doing like geography, biology. Those were probably some of my favourite subjects in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And when you were younger and you were thinking about the future, what was kind of floating through your mind?
I don't think I was thinking about the future when I was younger.
Living in the moment.
In hindsight, I wish I was one of those kids who sort of had an idea of what I want to do or something to work on. But yeah, I think it was just sort of that in Zimbabwe there is a big focus where like if you take the science subjects then you're considered a bit more like academic and it's like, oh, you can do something with that. Which is probably not the case, to be honest. But yeah, no, so sort of did those subjects, and then I wasn't really sure where I was going to go with my studies after that. But I guess from my family's perspective, they were like, oh yeah, be a doctor. But yeah.
And why not be a doctor?
Well, I did try it actually. So that's why I studied health science in university. So that was sort of on that journey towards becoming a doctor.
Yes,
Dr.
JR.
Yes, in another life I probably would be a doctor.
Yeah.
So I did everything, did the GAMSAT and all of that.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah. I guess that's also why I did plant science as well because it's like, obviously I don't know the reason why I wasn't put forward. So like I passed the GAMSAT, got a pretty good score for that. But I think my GPA wasn't as competitive as some others because I had a little bit too much fun in my first undergrad degree.
Which you should.
Yeah, which you should. So I did the plant science to sort of boost my GPA. But then by the time I got to the end of plant science, I just figured I don't actually enjoy doing this sort of work in like the science field and all that. And then my best mate had just graduated as a doctor and he was telling me about like what he's going through and his experience as a doctor, and I was just like, no, I don't want that. Yeah. And then I changed to business. Yeah, because I was like, what can I do that's as far from science as possible? And then I tossed up between arts and business.
Let's go arts.
And like I'm not very artistic or I don't think I'm very creative, so I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then so I chose business, marketing.
I guess marketing can be kind of artsy.
Yeah, in a sense it can. I think I discovered that a bit later where it's like, oh, you still need to be pretty creative. But I really did enjoy marketing. That was pretty good.
How did marketing compare with science?
Awesome. Like I feel like just the way of thinking, it's not like repetitive, monotonous in the lab, do the same thing over and over. So I just thought that I really enjoyed that, and that was a big draw for me. Yeah.
And growing up, did you have any pressure like to become a doctor? Was your parents still persuading you, Dr. JR?
I don't know if it was pressure so much as just that's where they were like trying to steer me in that direction. And then I didn't really explore like what else was out there or had the opportunity to do that. So I was like, oh yeah, like, you know, that sounds fun, it's interesting. And yeah, you know, that whole concept of helping people and all that, that's, you know, marketed for medicine. And I think that that's part of what the draw was, but I mean, doesn't always work out that way. But yeah, so that was kind of why I had wanted to, and then like it is a good career as well to have.
Yeah, so stable. Parents love that.
Definitely is. But yeah, maybe in another life. And then I got to the end of my marketing and I was like, I'm not going to try again for medicine. Like that's not what I want. Yeah. Can't sink in another 5 years into uni.
Yeah. And did any of your siblings end up becoming doctors?
No, so my sister's a nurse, my brother's an accountant, and my other brother's a chemical engineer. So
it's quite a good spread.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then tell me about, because you did university in Australia. How did that come to be?
So I moved here because of my mum. So she moved to the UK when I was about 5 and was there for a while. And then,
you didn't tell me that.
So now you know. So then eventually, well, she didn't want me to join her in the UK because she just didn't like the lifestyle there, I guess, didn't want me growing up there. And then she eventually moved to Australia and she brought me over when I was 17. Yeah. And that's how I ended up here. So obviously
not
I was
really
living
by
here,
choice.
and that's it was not by choice. But it was a good choice though.
And was it hard to sort of kind of fit in a new environment?
I didn't find it hard. But I think I moved at a good age because that transition into uni is where you got to make new friends and everyone is sort of looking to do that. So it was a good time, I'd say, as opposed to if I moved here, you know, now, it would have been a lot more difficult to, you know, break into established friendship groups and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Do you have any tips for any international students, that kind of thing? Because you're really good at making friends. Right? Good at memorizing people's names. That's a good start, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, people do like it when you remember things about them or remember past conversations. But again, it's also picking up on people who actually do appreciate that and appreciate you in reverse. Talk to people.
Psychology,
network.
This marketing guy, woo!
No, but it's, I don't know, I guess part of it is knowing, like, what you're giving to people and what you want in return. So if you're talking to people and they're just not taking interest in you, even though you're showing interest, then, you know, is it worth carrying that on? So I guess it's investing in good relationships.
Solid. So tell us, how do you memorize people's names when you first meet them? I remember I first met you, and I don't even remember when you learnt my name or when we had our first convo, but you said, hey Karen, I was like, whoa, who's this guy?
I guess, again, it's taking interest. So I think if you're interested in something, then, you know, you're more likely to remember, you know, facts about it. So if you're interested in meeting new people, then, you know, you're going to remember their name, for instance. Or, you know, if you're interested in learning a new skill, you're going to remember stuff about that. So, like, I don't always remember people's names.
I don't know if I believe that.
No, it depends. Like, if I'm distracted or something and I'm thinking about other stuff and it's on my mind and not actually engaged in that conversation, then I will end up forgetting someone's name. But in general, I do try and remember people's names.
You're so good. Why are you so humble?
No.
I remember you going around, you saying, hey, to everyone and just like being able to name everyone's name. And I was like, wow, this guy knows more names than me.
No,
whoa.
not at all. Not at all.
But I think you also said that once you meet someone's name, you just repeat it a couple of times and then it sticks.
Yeah, that is one of the things that does help if you just, you're like, all right, this is Karen, or like associated with a certain like memory or something that happened at that specific time. Like if you said something funny, it's like, oh, like Karen said this, and then you'll sort of remember.
Did I actually say anything funny?
I'm not sure.
Is there anything associated with the name Karen?
I think you were telling me about how bad you are at remembering names.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh no, you can't be that bad. So maybe that helped me remember your name. Yeah.
Nice. not bad.
Definitely. But I guess it's a skill with like everything else. But I guess Michael Hiller is probably
Always
the
exceptional at
best
it.
person at doing that because he remembers names, events, everything. Yeah.
I swear he must have his own little list or something.
Oh, his brain is just wired differently to the rest of us.
Maybe got a tree diagram at home.
Yeah.
You never know. Some people, it's a bit harder. Looks
Yes.
smooth on the surface, but pretty tricky.
But it's not. No, maybe he's looking at the face chart every day.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah,
Wake up in the morning.
Yeah. No, definitely. But I don't know. It's like everything else. It's a skill, and I think if you want to remember people's names or people, then that's the first step.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Cool. And then tell me about your journey into Keepers. So, you finished your marketing and then...
Yep. So I was sort of given, I don't know, foot in the door to consulting, or a taste rather, from one of my friends. So generally in Zimbabwe, most of us move out of the country if we can.
Yeah.
So one of my mates moved to New York to study there, and he started working for BCG last
Shout out
year.
to him.
Yes, Eagle. So he started working there, and he was, we were just having a chat, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you should try consulting. I think you'd fit in because of X, Y, Z." And then so I was going through QUT at one of the open days, and I joined up with the consulting club there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was it 180 degrees consulting?
Yeah, 180
nice.
degrees consulting. Everyone here is from there.
Yeah.
One way or another. Yeah, so signed up to that, did a project with them, and then I ended up entering the case competition for KPMG. Yes, we placed second for that one.
Wow.
Yeah, it was it was a good competition.
Yeah.
And then I sort of spoke with Sarah Lee and got her to forward my resume to the grad team and applied for here and got in.
Yeah.
So that's
so good.
Yeah, it was just sort of just happened. It wasn't like I didn't even know what the Big Four was until I started in consulting and all that. So it's not like I was aiming to work for KPMG from the start or anything. It's just
Yeah, that's cool. And did you also flick your resumes out to the other Big Four to mass application to everywhere?
I did have, I had a year of applying like most people do.
Yeah.
I did flick it out to Deloitte, but I didn't end up going for the interview because I was away last November. I went back to Zimbabwe, and that was the time when the interview was going to go ahead. So I was like, no, I've already got this offer with KPMG.
Yeah.
If I'm going to work with a Big Four, it's not going to be much different between the two.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have any advice for job hunting, that kind of thing? Was it a very anxiety-ridden process for you? Or you seem so chill. Do you stress much?
I think I stress. I just stress in my own way.
Internally.
Yeah, internal stress, dying on the inside. But I don't know, for people job hunting, just keep at it. Yeah. All that advice is out there. There's so many YouTube videos, people to talk to. But stuff like tailoring your resume, all that kind of stuff, it does make a difference because employers, they see the same thing over and over again. So if yours stands out just a little bit, then increases your odds of getting an interview. But it's a numbers game. Keep applying. Eventually you'll get there. Yeah. I know some people have said that they applied for one job, they got it, and they stuck with it. Other people have had hundreds of applications, so everyone's journey is different.
Yeah, that's cool. And what's it like working for KPMG? What do you kind of do here?
So I consult for mostly government work. So every engagement is very different. So it can be anywhere from working with stadiums or working in health or
getting your health
advising
stream.
on advising on policy.
Your health science degree actually was quite useful.
I wouldn't say it's been useful yet, but I'm sure one day it will be.
One day.
Yeah. And I've got to engage with communities or anything like that. But I think it's really good working here in terms of the variety you get, the opportunity, and I guess it's with everything, like you got to make the most of it yourself. So on my part, it's like, well, if you're just coming in and doing the bare minimum, then you're going to get the bare minimum out of it. Whereas if you put in a bit more, then hopefully you get something more out of it. But yeah, I've had some interesting cases that I've worked on. I haven't had the opportunity to do like super long projects like other people. So it's been mostly like about like 3 months on each engagement, and they've all been different in somehow, but like the general skills that you need in all of them mostly the same. Of course, if you're doing like economics versus writing, then it's different skills. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with my choice. And, meeting people is probably one of the best bits of working here, because there's just so many intelligent people with different like views of the world. And yeah, I guess if you sit down and talk to them, then, you can learn a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's really good that we have a pretty big grad cohort, so a lot of fresh young blood entering at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like the grad experience wears out very quickly.
Yeah.
Like you're a grad for, a month here and then...
Straight into it.
Yeah, kind of, because it's very fast-paced, fast-moving, and then, you'll see a grad event pop up and you're like, oh, yeah.
I'm still a grad.
Yeah, I'm still a grad. And you're like, oh, it feels like I've been here for 2 years, but it's been, a couple months.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's good though. Yeah.
And if you were to sort of break down your job into like a pie chart, what percentage would it be? Like, writing reports on Word, or doing Excel, or doing PowerPoint, or running workshops? What does that look like?
So I'd say it's probably about 80% PowerPoint.
Nice! PowerPoint God right here.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we love our PowerPoint. I try not to use Word if I can avoid it. It's probably about 70% PowerPoint, 10% Excel, 10% Word, 10% admin and training. Yeah. And then I guess everything else feeds into the PowerPoint. So like all the consultations and working with clients, a lot of meetings. We have a lot of meetings.
Do you enjoy meetings?
I feel like I just sit in meetings a lot. Like
Note taker?
Yeah, taking the notes. Like I'll do up the decks for the meetings a lot of the times. But then the engagement manager or director will do most of the talking. Yeah. So, I mean, they're fun, but it's more of like an observer, and, I guess that's another skill, keeping your attention when you're not talking, just like listening for an hour or two.
Proactive listening.
Yes, definitely. And practice note-taking skills. I think my notes have gotten considerably better over time. Yeah,
cool. And what are the kind of pros and cons of your job? What kind of person would you sort of recommend the work you do?
I guess the pros we've probably gone over. It's sort of those opportunities and the learning that's available at KPMG, meeting new people, like-minded people. And I guess on the con side, sort of the general stuff that you hear about consulting, that you can suffer from not having any like work-life balance, ups and downs, and like what's required of you to fulfill the job, but that's comes with the territory. So anyone applying for Big Four should just know that that's part of it, and like it's not like it's like that every single day. People are aware that that's happening, so if you do need to take a bit of an early finish on a certain day, then no one's really going to question you and be like, oh, like, why are you leaving early? Because like you've done your work, and you can't cheat the system. Like
there were no time
you can't
sheets.
cheat the like proof's in the pudding. Like if you say you've done your work and you haven't done it, like they're gonna know before you even know that you haven't done it. So just in general, it's doing the best you can and making sure you're communicating, just getting the job done. But sorry, I think I went on a tangent there.
No,
And I I guess a pro and a con is the amount of food that they give you. Like you can't, you can't say no sometimes. And no, they're good to us. Yeah.
Yeah. And a kind of general question: how do you sort of manage stress and manage anxiety, that kind of thing?
I'm a bit of a bottler up, so I'll think about it
until you explode.
Yeah, well, I don't explode. No, try not to. But I don't know, getting outdoors. There's different things. Like there's no one thing that I do that will calm me down. Sometimes I might feel like going for a drive, so I'll do that. Sometimes I'll go for a walk or a run or a session at the gym. So it's just, I guess, what you need at that time, and just like listening to your body, and like, I guess if you're doing something and it's not de-stressing you, then try something different.
The one
of
thing,
course, talking to people
I was gonna
when you need to.
Good to know you let it out.
No, definitely. And I guess talking with yourself as well, and just being honest about what you're feeling and not trying to shy away from it.
Cool. Any tips for work-life balance?
When I figure it out, I'll get back to you. No, I guess it's again just listening to your body and what you need. So like if you think that you need a bit less time at work, maybe take that, or like skip a lunch so you can leave earlier, or go for a walk instead, something like that. But I guess knowing what you have to do when you have to do it, and then working around that. And I guess not feeling guilty if you do need time for yourself, because like everyone needs it at some point.
It's easy to feel guilty.
But I don't know, I always tell myself like the company's always gonna get more out of me than I'm gonna get out of in terms of like my time. So I'm like, well, if I have a moment to have it to myself, then I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which is something, starting here, I was a bit like, oh, no, it's not good. But now I'm just like, nope.
Yeah, that's cool. So we're nearly at the end of the podcast. Just a few more quick questions. So the deep one, what do you think the meaning of life is, JR, for you?
For me? Okay, I thought you were going to ask in general, because so many books on that one.
Well, you can give me the book, and then you can give me what you actually think.
What I actually think. I'm kind of really working that out. So I've had a lot of changes this year in life, obviously starting a new job, all that kind of stuff, and like personal changes. I feel like life isn't static, so like you can't find one meaning and then that's it, you're done for the rest of your life. I think it's just about discovering what you want and who you want to be at that particular time.
I like
and
it.
then just being open to change, because no one is going to be the same forever, and if you think you can be, like, the world's going to change around you. So I think I don't know if we've got any like particular purpose or higher responsibility for being here, but I don't know, do the best you can each day.
That's cool. And if you won the lottery tomorrow, what would you do differently about your life?
Oh, how much?
Infinite payout.
Okay, that doesn't exist. All right, we'll go with $1 million.
Okay.
All right, that's not a lot of money, so
it's not.
I wouldn't really change too much.
Maybe 100 million, okay?
100 million, okay, that's a fair bit. I think the first thing I do is probably, travel is probably the second thing. First thing is I'd probably take care of my family. So I would tell them,
I won this money.
No, I wouldn't tell them how much I won. No. Don't tell them how much you win. Just say, oh, like, I won the lotto and, like, this is your money. And, like, you can never ask me for money again.
Nice.
Just, like, establish that, this is it. This is all you're going to get. And, like, you're going to, once in a while maybe have to fork out a little bit. But just establishing that, all right, here you go, I've got a big family, so 100 million, I could probably maybe give them 500,000 each. And then I'd be maybe 10 million down.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So that would be it. And then, yeah, I'd travel. I'd want to see like as much of the world as I can.
First place you want to go to is?
Well, I'm here, so I'd probably just go up. So I'd do Australia and New Zealand, and then I'd just go up through Asia and around the world that way and just do a little path because I'm going to see it all eventually. So
yeah, might as well go in like chronological order.
Yeah, exactly. Do that for a few years and then maybe go back to certain places that I like the most, or to like experience like different seasons and places and different events that I'd want to. I'm not as altruistic as other people are, so I don't know how much charity is going to get.
Right, your family's a charity, so technically.
No, I think if I was to give charity, I'd prefer to do it to like individual people that I meet along the way.
Yeah.
And sort of, I don't know, do something to help them. Yeah. Rather than like contributing to a foundation, because that's going to be there forever. Yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, 100 million's a lot, so I don't know if I'd have to like invest and make sure it stays there. It'd be very, very hard to spend all that money.
Yeah, maybe you'd be surprised.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe buy different currencies and make a Swiss bank account just in case the AUD crashes or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess within that travel, a lot of that would be learning and, self-discovery, I suppose. But yeah, I think I'd like to just enjoy that, and I'd definitely be flying different friends with me to different places
because
so
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's can't be alone forever.
Yeah.
Miss people. Yeah.
Pay them a salary to hang out with you.
Yeah. They probably
Buy
hate
them
me.
paid annual leave.
Yeah.
Because you would be so lonely if everyone is like working and you're the only one that's
one
free.
of the things. Like, people win money, but like your friends aren't rich.
Yeah.
So like, what are you gonna do with all that time?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And the final question is, what is an ideal day in the life for you? It can be work-related, it can be non-work-related.
An ideal day?
Yeah, what time do you wake up and what happens?
Let's start with the sleep in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so sleep in as much as I want to. Just like natural wake up sort of thing, so you're not fighting with an alarm.
Yeah.
And then... yeah, it'd be like a mixture. I like to chill out in the morning, maybe read.
Book of choice?
Either a book or a manga. I'm a big manga and anime fan, so I'll usually read some manga or something.
Yeah.
That'd be my go-to. Read a bit of that, and then get some exercise in at the gym, a nice meal, some time with friends. Or family. Depends how annoyed I am with my family at that point in time. Maybe go out and do something fun, like go somewhere, experience something. That'd probably be what it is.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
well, thank you so much, JR, for coming on the podcast. How was your experience?
Thank you for having me. It was great. I mean, you weren't as digging deep as I thought you would. No,
nice. I could have. Is there anything you wanted to talk about that I did not ask?
No, I think you covered mostly everything. I'm just teasing.
Okay, good. Don't want to be too interrogative. Yeah.
On the next time I'm on.
Next time. So comment down if you want a part 2 with JR.
Yeah.
If you want a part 2 with Simon.
Ooh,
no, your secret.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you. Want to say bye?
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.